Hey, it's been a while. As you can see, I'm trying something different here. I got this comic from one of my clients, my favorite client, and they gifted it to me. And they are French, and they gave this to me because it has no text, so I don't have to learn French. But it sort of blew my mind, and I wanted to share it with you. So it's Jesse Lonergan, I think, and it's called Hedra. So I'm just gonna take you through it, and I'm gonna turn my face off so it's not in the way of the beautiful pictures. Bam! There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you what I felt, where it blew my mind, why I think this is amazing storytelling, and why I think you can learn from it even for other things. All right, let's jump into it. I started with this cover. I was like, oh, that's a nice cover. They have a little bit of a grid going on. They have squares, and within those they show this sort of universe, and something is shooting. Like usually, this is the sign of either a superhero or a spaceship. Like that. That's the exhaust plume, whatnot. Okay, so let me fit it here so you can see it nicely. Then I open to the first page, and okay, so they're taking this grid idea and taking it a little bit into the comic book. Nice. A rocket or something is being fired, maybe leaves the Earth. I like this. It's nice. Didn't notice yet, but it's a very nice curvature there. And then boom. So if we focus on here, like this, you can see it's almost like the nice perfect circle, the continuation. We had two squares left here, two squares, that's all we see. And then what I really love here is the playing with the initial grid. Like here says, okay, so this is the grid, especially if you follow the 3 pages, including the cover. Like, okay, so it's a fairly strict grid. This is what we're gonna do. Psych, no, we're gonna break it up immediately. And we're gonna play with it. So we have the grid here, and then we have a full page here. But, and these are like tiny things that I think only your subconscious notices. Do you see how this is where the ground is, and this is where the explosion happens? And this ground line cuts this grid here, because this would come down another, and then we would have another square here. But this line just nicely cuts that off. I think this is like just beautiful, brilliant. And then you continue, and you can see now that, okay, so what happened? A ballistic missile was fired, and then here comes a retort, and another retort, and another retort. And all of these, even if we look back here, perfect circles. So these are all not concentric, but these are perfect circles. And we play with a bigger explosion, smaller explosion. This is just to give a little bit of dynamism. So we have a lot of back and forth, and then we go even deeper into atomic bomb explosion after explosion after explosion, and then you see the crisscross, and you see that everybody shot at themselves. And then sort of, how do you know that you have to read it like this? Because you have one explosion here. So you have this, you can see 2 by 2 by 2. So they don't confuse you, they don't need arrows. It is clear that, okay, so this image belongs here, and since we came over here, that means that this has to be another image. Do you read it like this? No, because this is a different shade of red than what we have here. Like the background is slightly more orangey. So like this is an image here, you have the devastation, everything is destroyed, and then this is probably a little bit of rebuilding after devastation, because we have a gentleman here looking at the fields that are barren now, nothing grows, and then a lot of humanity dies, I presume. And we go one more page, and like this is where, like, holy moly, I am going to love this book. Is we take this, again, this square. So what I didn't mention here, yes, we have the grid, but we overlap the grid. So this tractor and this gentleman pop out. The grid doesn't apply to them. Love it. And here we play with the grid. We have a big square. We have a longitudinal ones. We have empty space. We have a big mesh together space. And if you read it as well, White House destroyed. This feels like it's somewhere underneath in a safe bunker of the White House. Big discussion. Intelligent looking guy comes up with a solution like, oh, if we slingshot planet, something like that. And then how do we do that? We have this spaceship humans, that's the human size, this is the spaceship taken apart, put together. Love it. Next page, the spaceship is ready. As you can see, we work with force, only force here. So spaceship is ready, a huge line of people. This person is important. Again, here what's important, apparently they're giving out tickets and they're pulling tickets, sort of like a bingo. Number is 36, here we zoomed in on the 36, so probably this person who got the 36, she won, she's very happy, she lifts her hand and like transition, she's already dressed up, going for the rocket, and sort of this is also where the squares end, and then now this flows into this story, and here everything is molded, all the squares are molded together as our rocket flies off. So within playing these squares and breaking them and having fun with them, stuff like this, stuff like overlapping, and then stuff like this, but also here the way of like, let me just bring this over here, so easily understandable how you have to read it, no confusion at all, absolutely brilliant. So here you can see another page going from planet to planet, taking all sorts of samples, doing things, and then here basically this looks a little bit like here our intro, there's something flying around or after our spaceship. And this is also fun. Look at this. This is a big one, but here he just cuts in a piece where she looks out, probably one of these little windows, and sees that, oh, there's like sort of a human in there. So using a square to do like a zoom in and breaking the shape at the same time, chef's kiss. And then another page that I love, we're dumping the squares for a big one, but we have the squares in here, and you can see it's like time passing. She comes out, comes down there, looks around, looks back, and then starts walking. You can see that the background is slightly lighter, so it's faded out, just to see that it's not the same timeline as this. I just love it so much. Same thing here, it's a little bit lighter. But then what I also love, that here he decides, you know what, I'm not gonna draw in all the squares, I'm just gonna use this rock formation as sort of like the other boundary for the squares. This is just so nice, it's so pretty, so elegant. I love this. Another page that I really love, here's a character, and he is going to change sizes. So you have the comic book, you go boop 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 boop, again, super concentric, but this is actually concentric, and we didn't give up on the grid though, because this circle fits into this grid, this circle fits into a 3-er grid. If you look at this one, fits into a 5-er, a 6-er, so we still have that grid feeling. And what's also cool is that he decides to cut off the character here or there, like pieces of the character, as in like this is a different timeline, not timeline, but slightly different time than this and that and that. Brilliant. Here on this page, we're just having a little bit of fun. So you can see that the character comes up here, goes down there. This is not necessarily the orientation, because you can see that she's going this way, but it makes it feel like, especially because she goes into a hole, here you can really follow her, and here you can see she goes down, then she goes straight, and then she goes, well, not still straight, but you get out of this. So this is just playing with our eyes a little. This is not necessary. The artist could have done different ways, but they wanted to play with your eye a little bit and have fun. And then we come back to a more conventional way of doing panels. And if you look at here, we have fighting and swinging, it's fine, but again, what I love is we have these squares, but we also have these circles. So I didn't notice it first time, I went to the other page and that's where I noticed it and came back. So I saw her swinging here, oh nice, full circle. But also the swing with this knife, or sword, it also makes a nice circle, and I really noticed it on this page where she hits circle. She hits there, circle. She hits here, circle. So all of these are beautiful circles. Not needed. All this black space here, not needed, but it just works. Same here with the black space in between. It works so well. And then look at the play here as well. Character sort of shoots some sort of laser out of his hands, and then you have this whoop, and then here the other person gets shot. Same thing, shoots in the other direction, you have this whoop, gets shot. So using circles and squares in such a great way. Here as well, like this gives you the impression that he's like super fast, and then he shoots. And then we have this beautiful panel here as well, where he shoots up into the skies. We have these sort of nice quarter circles going into this. So just if you don't even look at the illustrations, these shapes from a graphic design point of view are already beautiful as well. And then this translates nicely into this page as well. So I don't, this is not a review of a book. The ending, I wasn't as big of a fan as the middle, so it's not like I want to convince you that the story is super fantastic, although I did like it quite a bit. But I think like this is really cool way of storytelling. It can be gimmicky, but I think this is just like having fun with something that you set up for yourself and having fun with leading the eye. So here I am again. So as I said, this is just a smaller video. I really, while I'm plotting out trying to make time for bigger videos, I just wanted to share this with you guys because this had a real impact on me storytelling wise. And this doesn't need to be a comic. You can think about something like this when you have a product. I have incidentally a small keyboard here. Like imagine if you want to present something, it doesn't need to be a keyboard, but you can do something like this, for example, where you have it in 3 boxes, then in 2 boxes you do something else. This one could be one of the buttons. You could showcase how this rotates around somewhere here. So I'm not saying to steal this gimmick. Excuse me, I made some noises there. I'm not saying to steal this gimmick. I'm saying when you need to present something, think a little bit outside of the box, right? Break this box, break the squares, and see how you can play a little bit with the viewer's eye, especially because what I do for work, I do visuals that are also presented. So somebody stands there and like, oh, this is what happens here, blah, 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 blah. This is something where nobody's gonna stand there and present anything. So this has to read, and as you see, so without any text, it has to be clear. So it is very important I think, to take a look at comic books or also other media, not just entertainment, but you can look at mechanical books that explain stuff to you. See how people try to explain things, and I think you can take this with you if you're a product designer, or if you're a comic artist, or if you're a concept artist, or whatever you want to be. I think stuff like this will help you a lot. Yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, even though it's not drawing, it's slightly different. And yeah, check out this comic. I love it. I love it, and I can recommend for everyone to have it in their library. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, and until then, keep on sketching. Bye bye.